Hello, I'm Kimberly, and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, July 6th, and many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryTV.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. Navajo lawmakers have rejected a settlement to recognize the tribe's water rights from the Little Colorado River Basin. The Tribal Council voted 15-6 against the settlement on July 5th during a special session in Window Rock, Arizona. The vote also puts a stop to legislation in Congress to move the settlement forward because it needed the blessing of both the Navajo and Hopi tribes. Critics saw the settlement as an attack on their Aboriginal rights and tilted toward corporate interests. They urged lawmakers to vote it down and continue fighting in court. President Obama declared areas of northern Minnesota a major disaster area after last month's severe flooding. The disaster declaration covers 13 northeastern Minnesota counties and land for 3 Native American tribes, and allows the federal government to reimburse state and local governments and nonprofit groups for up to 75% of the costs associated with repairing public property. The 3 tribes covered in the declaration include the Fond du Lac Band of Lake Superior Chippewa, Grand Portage Band of Lake Superior Chippewa, and the Mille Lacs Band of Ojibwe. Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton expects more than $100 million in damage to public infrastructure, and he plans to call a special session of the legislature to approve state funding for the 25% of costs not covered by the federal government. This disaster declaration covers only public property, but the state plans to request separate federal money to cover damages to private property as well. The Iowa Tribe of Oklahoma became the first Native nation to adopt an official resolution in support of restoring improperly withheld pay to eligible Native American veterans and service members. For decades, spanning from World War II era to 2001, the United States military withheld state income tax from Native American service members who claimed Indian lands as their homes. Under federal statutory law and federal legal principles related to state income taxation of Native American individuals, Native American military service members domiciled on Indian land are exempt from state income tax on their military pay. It is believed that over the decades of improper state income tax withholdings, hundreds, if not thousands, of Native American service members and veterans did not receive the full pay to which they were entitled. In 2001, the Department of Defense halted the practice of improper withholding state income tax in response to a memorandum opinion issued by the U.S. Department of Justice. But this relatively new practice does nothing for those Native service members who were improperly taxed in years prior to 2001. One such veteran is Richard Adame, a member of Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation and a retired Sergeant First Class who served 20 years in the United States Army. Adame has championed the restoration of improperly withheld income tax monies to eligible Native veterans and service members for nearly a decade. It is Adame's hope that other Native nations will follow the Iowa tribe's lead. According to the Department of Justice statistics, 86% of sexual assaults reported by Native American or Alaska Native women are perpetrated by non-Native men. That statistic contrasts sharply with reports of sexual assault by American women of other races who usually are attacked by a man of their same race. Tana Sanchez, the director of the Native American Youth Family Center in Oregon, has helped develop a sexual violence education plan aimed at Native youth that takes the imbalance into account. The curriculum, an 8-week course designed to be taught in high schools, was created because organizers couldn't find any other sexual health programs for Native youth that address sexual violence specifically. Sexual violence prevention programs also tend to be geared toward the general public and don't take into account the historical and cultural factors that lead to both the high rate of assault on reservations and the fact that rapes are likely to go unreported. The curriculum Sanchez helped develop was first taught in 2011 at NAIA's Alternative High School in Portland, Oregon, and again this spring at the Chippewa Indian School in Salem, Oregon. Now she hopes to take the curriculum to the Umatilla Reservation. For more information on this curriculum, you can visit nayapdox.org. Navajo filmmaker Pamela Peters has launched a fundraising campaign to produce the short film Shí Má. The funding goal of $25,000 must be met before July 20th through the All or Nothing Kickstarter funding platform. Shí Má, or My Mother in the Navajo language, explores the two worlds of an American Indian gay man. Shí Má brings alive the story of a Navajo gay man as he seeks to reconcile with his mother, despite her refusal to accept him as her child and rejection of his sexual preferences.
The idea of Shí Má came about from the various conversations I've had with my two spirit friends, and in particular with the personal relationship I have with my cousin, who is gay, that I grew up with on the Navajo reservation.
This project that Pamela Peters is working on is more than just about a movie. It's about social justice. And every community has to address the social injustices that happen within them. So please, if you can donate to Kickstarter to get this project disseminated out into the community, we can create a better world.
I believe in this project because I think it gives voice to an invisible community. And I really encourage everyone to give as much as they can to this project, because this project is about us, it's about our lives, and I really want to be able to support Pamela Peters in her endeavor of making Shí Má a reality.
You can help support Pamela's vision by backing her film on Kickstarter. Just go to Kickstarter.com and type in Pamela J. Peters in the search to connect to her campaign. On May 13th, students from several universities left Kansas on a 2-month journey to Washington, D.C. to save the Wakarusa Wetlands, Lawrence's only remaining indigenous wetland prairie, from becoming the South Lawrence Trafficway. They carried with them the Protection of Native American Sacred Places Act, a draft piece of legislation which will protect sacred places. The wetlands adjoin Haskell Indian Nation University and have been used for ceremony, prayer, and education since Haskell's founding as a boarding school in 1884. Prompted by the proposed highway construction through the wetland, the students traveled 21 days on the 1838 Potawatomi Trail of Death route to show appreciation to the community's maintaining markers of remembrance. The draft piece of legislation the students carried, which has been approved by the National Congress of American Indians, would amend the American Indian Religious Freedom Act of 1978 to provide a right for action for protection of Native American sacred places, such as the Wakarusa Wetlands. The students called the journey the Trail of Broken Promises, and on June 28th they ended their walk at the White House, yet their journey continues, and on July 10th they will meet with Kansas Senators Roberts and Morin. For more information on how you can help with this journey, you can visit tobp2012.webs.com. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me and have a grand day.